former banking lawyer and financial lawyer, now working as the CEO of Wiser Group. Wiser Group assists clients from all over the world to set up business in Estonia in the most tax efficient way. And also we assist with immigration, crypto, and other topics.
Wow, it's a very wide range of services. So I would be very happy to talk with you about two main topics during this webinar, meanings like probably a little bit more focus on company setup and investment vehicle setup. And doing that, we will, of course, talk about e-residency because a lot of people and a lot of people from my community are interested in this topic. It's kind of interesting for them to have the ability to move and to set up a business in a foreign country. So let's begin. I begin by my first questions. What is e-residency in Estonia?
Okay, e-residency basically is many times confused with real residency, and people think it gives you the right to live and pay taxes in Estonia, which is not the case. E-residency means you get a card and you can electronically set up your business, log into state authority websites, submit your tax declarations, and also sign contracts. So in Estonia, people don't sign any more contracts and papers. You do everything online with that card.
Okay, that's very interesting. Why is Estonia considered as a technical and entrepreneurial hub in Europe?
It is thanks to the Estonian government, which 25 years ago decided to make Estonia as an e-government. So this e-Estonia concept meant digitalization of everything possible in Estonia. So since then, Estonia has tried to make everything as simple and paper-free as possible. So that's why I submit my personal tax declarations in maximum 5 minutes. I do my doctor.
Sorry, interrupt you. 5 minutes. I was amazed.
And in healthcare also, so we do everything online. We don't have the e-residency card, we have ID card, but e-residency gives you the same online solutions. So basically that meant everything you can do personally, so that you are able to do electronically. That was the concept.
Okay, very interesting. So let's talk about advantages. What are the main advantages of setting up a company in Estonia for a foreign entrepreneur?
The main advantage is minimal paperwork. There's no bureaucracy. The tax system is very simple and favorable, and in 2 years it will change even to more simple. We have transparent and safe market. It's full democracy. Everything can be done online if wanted. Communication is very easy. Processes are very fast. So in very many European countries, it takes quite a lot to establish a company and do other things. In Estonia, company is registered in 5 business days, just an example.
Okay, so you talk about very interesting because for all the people who have kind of administrative phobia, it can be very useful. How can the Estonian tax system benefit entrepreneurs and investors?
The main benefit is that you don't pay tax until all the money is kept inside the company. So you can make 1 million profit. You don't pay any tax until you don't decide to distribute as dividends. That's the main benefit. And later, when you decide to distribute, then it's only 20%. So it's very simple and very good for entrepreneurs.
Okay, so you keep the money inside, and when you withdraw the money, you have a tax of 20%.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, very interesting. So what will be the prerequisites? What are the prerequisites for obtaining e-residency in Estonia?
It is applied for online on police
Yeah.
website. There is a separate page for e-residency. You fill it in, submit, you pay state fee. It's from 100 to 130 euros. And then you
Yeah.
have to add also your CV, motivational letter, passport or ID card copy, and then you wait for the police decision. In motivational letter, I advise to write that you are planning to establish a company in Estonia. That is why you need e-residency card. Usually that's motivational enough for the police to give you a positive answer.
Okay, okay, that's great because I thought like you have to explain why you are in love of Estonia and why you want to absolutely go in Estonia. So clearly you have to be honest. Okay, it can work so. So okay, what kind of document are required to establish a company in Estonia?
If you are an e-resident, you already got the card, then it's very easy because you contact us, we prepare everything online, you just log in, add your signature, we submit everything. And usually in 1 day already, the company is registered. So it's fully paper free. And if you don't have e-residency card and you don't want to apply for it, then also you just go to the notary. For example, in France, you go to the notary, you sign a document which we have prepared for you. You send the original to us, we do everything else ourselves.
Okay, that's very clear. Okay, let's talk about tax optimization because some people are very interested by that. Um, how does the system of taxation, maybe to explain a little bit how it works, tax system, we can focus on the case of a entrepreneur, for example. Let's explain us how it works for a French entrepreneur, for example.
Okay,
What?
let me start
Yeah.
that. Turnover is not taxed, profit is not taxed until it's kept in the company, and later when we pay it out, it's 20%. That's the basic taxation system. So what a French entrepreneur could do to avoid France taxing their Estonian company and saying you have to pay taxes in France, you have to show your Estonian company's location as Estonia. So usually we advise to make a few resolutions and add the location as Estonia. Because once you make a shareholder or management resolution, you write where it was done, the meeting. So you write there Tallinn, Estonia, for example. That's one thing. Second thing, in Estonia, if you open the company, no matter where the owner is from, you get a tax residency certificate from Estonian tax office saying that your company is Estonian tax resident. We advise to get this apostille and show this in a French tax office if you get any inquiries from there. So these are the two main things to do so that everyone considers your Estonian company as Estonian tax resident. Then,
Okay.
mhm.
Sorry.
In Estonia, when your company pays out dividends to you, you pay 20% tax on company level. Later in Estonia, as a person, as individual, you don't pay any tax anymore. So
Okay.
Estonia doesn't tax your benefits on personal level in dividends.
Okay. So let's say you have 100,000 euros profits. Can we go into the
Yes.
details of that? An example
Yes.
about dividend taxation?
Yes. So in Estonia, your profit is 100,000 euros. You want to distribute all of it. You pay tax from it 20%, which is 20,000 euros, and 80%, 80,000 euros, you receive on your account when you are the shareholder. As simple as that.
Okay, so there is no other taxations at the personal level. Okay, to be clear, but in fact, in France, they can check where you are resident personally. because they can apply some taxation on the personal side. Okay.
Yes.
So basically, if you are personally resident in Estonia, you have zero behind that, 0% tax behind that. If you
Yes.
are in Estonia, okay, okay.
Yes.
So you can be in Estonia, for example, by renting a room and by being there 6 months more 1 day.
Yes. And
Okay.
you come to Estonia, you apply at the police station ID card, then you register your address in the population registry, and then you can visit the tax office and say, I'm living here, I want to pay taxes here, and they register you as Estonian tax resident.
Okay.
Usually
Very.
that registration is enough to show in France that you are tax resident of another country.
Okay, and that the case you are if you are based in France, if you are based in Portugal, if you are based in another country, of course you have to pay the tax on the country where you are based. In the case of the Portugal, it could be very few. And just for information, and sorry, I know it's not you are not advising that, but you have to know that in Europe there is no stamp between borders, so you can rent a room or sub renting it, and not being in the country, and there is no step between the countries. So of course it's just a hack, a trick on my side, and of course you don't advise to do that.
I have a comment.
Okay, so
Yes, that basically you are right, because if you are renting apartment in Estonia, no one can check how much you have stayed there, correct? But what I advise that if you leave the EU zone, so you go out of EU country,
yeah.
then you get a stamp so that they can check. So you have to be careful with that part.
Yeah, you're completely right. I completely forgot to say that. Of course, you have a stamp if you leave the eurozone. So very interesting. So let's focus a little bit more. This advantage apply to everyone. We already talked about that, and we already talk about the fact that they are from Estonia or from out of Estonia. Let's talk about the process steps, if you are okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Uh,
First step.
Sorry. What are the key steps on to set up a company in Estonia?
Yes. The first step is deciding whether you want to do it alone, the establishment of the company, or you want to do it with assistance of professionals. Because if you have the e-residency card and you're able to explore online yourself, you can do it alone as well. But I can say honestly that most of the even e-residents, they still contact us so that we do everything fast. So that they don't need to do things double. So when you approach us, we decide with you the company name, the structure, who will be the shareholders and board members, and the code of activity. Then the next step depends already whether you have e-residency card or not. If you have e-residency card, we prepare everything online. You just add your signature. If you don't have it, as I mentioned earlier, you just go to the notary in France, sign the document which we have prepared, and then send it to us. We do everything ourselves.
Okay. So I suppose we have to choose the different type of company in Estonia. Do you have some maybe shortcut to give us about that?
Yes, 99.9% of the clients, they choose OU, which means osaühing, which
Yeah.
is the equivalent to the internationally known LLC or PLC, limited liability company. In France, it should be SARL.
Yeah,
They
SRL.
have, so they have the most favorable tax system, and it's the easiest company type to establish. So that's why the clients choose that one. And they have the least reporting requirements. For example, you don't have automatically the requirement to have auditor. You don't have to submit every month declarations if you don't have VAT number. So it's the easiest and cheapest to maintain.
Okay, very, very interesting. And okay, what is, I suppose there is some requirement on accounting and reporting side. What are they?
Number one requirement is annual report. Even if your
Yeah.
company has had 0 transaction in certain year, then you still have to do the annual report. And now registry has started fining the companies which do not submit the annual report. Whether you need every month accounting or not, it depends how much business you will have. So that's why we don't do this monthly payment accounting system, because sometimes the client has 10 invoices per month. So they can do just once a year accounting and pay for the annual report, and that's it. In case the client has high volume activities every month, then we advise to do the monthly accounting system.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
very interesting. What about VAT number?
If you have VAT number, then that's it. You have the requirement to submit every month 2 declarations.
Okay.
So we advise to get the VAT number only when you are starting to have active operations. So we don't advise it to just get it to have it, because you will have accounting prices, accounting fees right away.
Okay. Okay, that's very clear. About the durations of how long does it typically take to obtain e-residency, for example?
1 to 2 months.
Okay, and how long does it take to establish a company once you have e-residency?
With us, usually 1 to 2 days.
Okay, yes, it's very fast. What are the process costs to obtain, for example, e-residency? You told me like 100 and 130 euros.
Yes, so it's from 100 to 130 euros, and it's the state fee. As you apply online yourself, no other fees apply.
Okay. What's the initial and recurring cost associated to establish and managing a company in Estonia?
Usually it's between 1,000 and 2,000 euros. So basic packages are more 1,000 euro, and more complex structure, additional services, 2,000. Later maintenance fees, they depend on various circumstances, whether you need monthly accounting or not. But overall, smaller or medium company, it should be 1,000 to 2,000 euros per year, not more.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about a topic, another topic, very linked topic. It's about banks. Banks. I want to talk about banks. How does the banking system work for companies in Estonia? What are the common challenges faced by foreign entrepreneurs in Estonia? How does Estonia compare to the other popular jurisdiction for company formations? How does it work with bank?
With banks, it's a bit complicated since 2016 December, when they decided to not open accounts for companies which are related to non-residents. So if your company has a shareholder or a director who is not living in Estonia, then classical banks have a huge chance to give you a negative answer. And since then, we have had 2 ways for our clients. Part of them have opened their accounts in electronic EMIs instead. For example, Wise, Paysera, Revolut, and others. And it can be done online without face-to-face meeting. And the opening is usually for free.
Yeah.
Classical banks, though, they require face-to-face meeting, and they require a fee if a non-resident is involved in the company structure. So with classical banks we advise to open only if you have really high chances to get the account. Otherwise, it's a waste of money.
Okay, very interesting. So, and you told me like it could be a cost of 3,000 euros.
Yes, but that is not the Estonian classical bank accounts. That is if classical bank account is not open for you and EMI is also not solution for you and you need some other bank, then we have an advisor who opens the account for you, but it's not in Estonia. It's outside of Estonia.
Okay, very clear. So about the international relationship between these banks and the others, how does the banking system work for companies in Estonia? Work well?
Yes, they work well. Are you asking whether Estonian banks cooperate and give information to other countries' banks?
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. When I used to work in the Estonian bank, then we didn't have any such information that we're giving out information on the clients. I believe that banks do not do that, but I cannot confirm 100%. I
Yes.
believe that that kind of information is more movable between tax offices of the countries, not the banks.
Okay. Okay. So you say like probably they are not linked with Estonian banks are not linked with French banks. And my topic is: do the Estonian bank have access to information about people blacklisted in countries like France, for example?
Yeah, I don't believe that they check that. For example, if a client is bankrupted in France, I don't believe that the Estonian bank gets that information. They get
That's
information. Yes.
yes. Sorry, it was a question for two entrepreneurs of my communities. So yeah, it was specific. I let you answer. Sorry.
Yes. So Estonian banks do the background research and anti-money laundering screenings, and they check for international financial sanctions. So usually, if a client is sanctioned already internationally, then they don't even go to another country to establish a company. So in case your name is not in Dow Jones blacklisted name list, then you're fine.
Yeah, when I'm saying I'm talking about these two entrepreneurs, they have just unfortunately bankrupt their previous company, and they are still in process, and they need to relaunch a new company. So they are not doing money laundering or something worse. Like I have to be more accurate about what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay, very
One
interesting.
small comment, though,
Yeah.
that in case of the client having some ongoing process in their own country, then it is wise to get an advice from the local lawyers to see whether having this Estonian company will be taken as an asset in the future and might be taken into the account of that process in their own country. So this you should check.
Yeah, very interesting. Very, very important. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So, are there some specific restrictions from France about Estonia? Is there a bad relationship? Is there some like kind of I don't know. Do you have like you have a lot of French clients? Do you have some issues with French institutions?
Not at all. With France, the relationship is easy. The notarization and apostille process is also Estonia and France have a contract. They are both the members of Hague Apostille Convention. So even it is simplified when you make documents in France, the how to say certification process is simplified when you are intending to use the documents in Estonia. So with France, the relationship is wonderful, I would say.
Okay,
And
so
France is not considered as a tax haven, and it's also an European country, an EEA member country. So it is good.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that France is not considered like a tax haven, but is Estonia considered like a tax haven?
Not at all. So
Okay.
it is not considered as any offshore type of company, and it is not a tax haven as well.
Okay, so you are, yeah, there is no blacklist and restriction on that. Okay,
Yeah.
very interesting. Okay, maybe about data protection and confidentiality. How does Estonia handle the protection of banking and financial data? Example, you have a
Yes, basically, the most correct answer is that as Estonia is 25 years already like an e-government, then already the cybersecurity part is taken care of, and all these related NDA contracts are taken care of. So as Estonia is used to handling this personal information and company informations, then they have all of it already organized, how to protect the client data. And as I was previously working in the bank, I can say honestly that banks do everything not to give any information out until there is no such requirement from the law. So it is a bank secret.
okay. Very interesting. Okay, so if I have, how can companies based in Estonia optimize their banking operation for international transaction?
Uh, Basically, my main advice is never hold all of the company funds on one account. Always have three or more bank accounts, divide the funds relevantly so that if one of the banks has an inquiry related to some transactions or some ongoing process, so that your business is not frozen because of that.
Okay, that's your recommendation as a banking lawyer. It's very interesting. So you recommend to have at least three bank, so banks like bank account, okay, but different bank.
Yes, for example, one account in Revolut, one account in another bank, one account in third bank.
Okay, very good. Can you share case studies of entrepreneurs who have succeeded in Estonia, without giving name, of course?
Uh, During my experience, last 7 years, when we had the experience of crypto boom, I would say biggest success stories were the crypto platforms who founded their company in Estonia and got licensed also in Estonia, and some of them became worldwide known. So these are the biggest success stories which I have seen during my experience.
Okay, very interesting success stories. What are the common pitfall to avoid when establishing a company in Estonia?
Not paying enough attention to the requirements. Some clients receive notifications from the state authorities, for example, about submitting declarations or annual reports, and they don't take it seriously. They don't think that they will get fined. The fine from the registry and the government is up to 3,200 euros. And to avoid that, it's better to take care of your company. And when you don't need it anymore, you should liquidate it, and
Okay,
then you are free from this fines.
you told me like the first time we talked about this fine, you told me about several hundreds of euros. I saw like the amount raised. Okay.
No, it's not raised. It's up to 3,200
Ah,
euros.
okay.
But regularly before it was 100, now it's 200. We see even 500. So it's the registry to decide.
Okay, that's crystal clear. To understand that, so the generally the communication is directly on your email, or you have to connect to a kind of a customer account to have the information.
You mean from the state authorities?
Yes.
Uh, Basically, it depends. Some clients want our email to be stated. Some clients wish theirs. If we
Okay.
put ours, then we always forward the email to the client. So the
Got
state
it.
authorities contact you through your registered email.
Okay, very good. Because in France, you have to systematically connect in an account. Okay. How do you see the future of entrepreneurship and investment in Estonia?
We see that the attractiveness is not lost. So as long as current taxation and transparency stays, I believe that Estonia will still keep being attractive for investors and also for freelance entrepreneurs, not only for complex structures, but whatever you wish your company to be, it's easy to have it in Estonia.
Okay, that's crystal clear. Are there any upcoming legislative or tax change that could affect entrepreneurs in Estonia?
Yes, the VAT amount will change from 20 to 22 from 2024 January, but it does not directly affect the investors, except if they wish to establish a retail chain where VAT is a big part of the business. For regular entrepreneurs, the income tax will change, which is now 20, will change to 22.
Okay.
And also, if we are talking about this corporate income taxation, 20% changing to 22, then right now there is an exceptional tax rate also, which is 14.
Yeah.
That is applied from the third year of your company paying out dividends from a certain amount, which was relevant all 3 years. So this will be also lost from 2025. So you will have only one tax, which is 22, and that's it.
Okay, so that means like you are the third year, you have 14% of tax on your corporate level, but there is no another tax to add that, or it's the only tax?
On company level, it's the only one. And on personal level, if you received dividends on your account, then 7% is also taxed from individual level.
From individual level, if you are a resident in Estonia.
Yes.
And if you are a resident in another country, you don't have this tax.
Then you have to check what are the agreements between countries. So in that case, it's better to be in communication with the accountant. So the accountant will say which tax is paid.
Okay. So, okay, generally there is a kind of convention between countries about that. So, yeah. So the fact is, not being resident doesn't exclude you from this personal tax. Okay, crystal clear. So now let's talk about expenses. Why? Let's talk about expenses because, in fact, if we keep the money inside the business, and we need to know what we can cover with this business. So I will ask you some expenses, and you will tell me if you are covered or not covered. Okay. So about traveling and hospitality, for example.
These are covered for employees and for the board members.
Okay.
So
Very
if
clear.
you are the owner and you take your wife with you, then you have to put your wife as a board member employee to cover her expenses as well.
Okay, crystal clear. The leasing on luxury car, collectibles, or crypto mining. That means investing and sub-renting.
Investing, sub-renting, then you can show it as company-related expenses. In case you are leasing the car to use it yourself, not as business purpose, but to drive yourself, then it depends. It depends on your company activity. And for example, if your company activity is something not related to driving the car at all, and then you have a BMW X7, let's say, driving, then at some point the tax office can ask, how is it related to your business? And you have to reply.
Okay, so just moving to see some clients, it's not a justification for the business.
Just moving, it is, if your company activity is related to that.
Okay. Okay, very clear. can we put the expense about renting my apartment? Is it covered by the business?
Usually it is not covered, but if you show that part of it is used as your office and you show how many square meters is used as an office, then that part can be tax-free and business expense.
Okay, very interesting. About expenses regarding diner, lunch, does it like in France we do a lot of expenses like that? Is it covered by your company?
Uh, it is uh, it is with a certain limit, and it is also depending on the salary of the person whose dinner or lunch you are covering. So it's very specific and limited expense. But what we usually, as lawyers, advise and use is that you just ask to add some other explanation on the invoice. So as long as it's not written food-related explanation, then you are practically fine.
Okay, crystal clear. Do we put the school of the children on your business?
It's not business-related activity.
Okay, that's it's very particular. I know a country where we can do that. That's why I was asking that. So maybe go a little bit on the second part of this webinar regarding investment vehicle. Yes, we don't have a lot of time to treat this topic, but I think like what is I think you have a lot of answers about that. But what is an investment structure in Estonia?
If you want to invest only for yourself with your company, then it is a regular OU, Osaühing, which I mentioned before.
Yeah.
Then that's suitable. If you want something complex to provide investment services to clients, then you need a very strict and complicated license, and then your structure is also different.
So to invest yourself, for example, I want to invest my benefit in collectible real estate, stock market, and stuff like that. It's a basic company, and the basic rules apply.
Yes.
Yeah, there is
Completely.
no holding optimizations setup or something like that.
No, because you just add your activity code, the relevant thing. You don't write their investment, but you write, for example, holding activities, and that's it. The regular rules apply.
Okay, okay, crystal clear. Very interesting this topic. So you sound like this is a classical topic, and if you want to set up a fund where your friends bring their money and you invest for them, they need a license.
Yes, and there it depends whether it's only your friends, then how many friends, whether you want to go public or not. So the license type, it depends. And almost always the clients get a legal analysis to see which license is applicable, and then they continue.
Okay, so the advantages of having an investment structure are the same than for a company.
Yes,
So
completely the same.
okay, perfect. With the same 20% of tax if you withdraw money from this company.
Yes, absolutely.
The prerequisites are the same too.
Yes.
And let's go further on the tax optimizations. Let's say like I invest with this structure in collectibles, properties, stock market, private equity, or specific any investment. So you told me like there is only 20% on capital gain, for example.
No, until you are investing, you get the profit, you keep it inside the company, you reinvest, you don't pay any tax on any gain and profit. Once you decide to distribute, then only you pay.
Okay. Very clear. Very clear. Okay. So about the process for the step of setting up an investment structure? Is it the same than for the company?
Yes, if we're talking about the regular investing company, then it's completely same. If we're talking about investment fund, the big licensed investment fund, then the process goes on more than 6 months. The pricing is also different, so it's very complex, the process.
Okay. I think in your previous talk, you told me like you have already done this exercise with the more specific investment structures. So you are going through Estonia, or you are going through other countries for that?
We have been in communication with clients who started this process, but to be honest, we don't have any clients who completed the process, because I don't believe Estonia is the best place for foreign investors to set up investment fund, because it's very complicated and very high risk for negative answer.
Okay, very interesting. And so generally, you think people are going where for this part?
I don't even know, but lately I'm thinking maybe Lithuania.
Okay, okay, for you, Andrew. So, in terms of duration of the process, we are still between and 5 business days.
Yes.
Okay, it's really the same. The process cost will be the same as a company.
Yes.
Okay. In terms of regulatory environment, this is the same one for investment structures?
Yes, because in Estonia, the regulations are for everyone the same, foreigner or not foreigner.
Okay. So actually in Estonia, is there some specific way to manage and monitor your investment structure? Or is there, yeah?
Basically, the most effective way to manage is having online access with e-residency, and also with the banking and tax department having their online systems up. That also you can manage the company, submit all declarations, report with this e-residency card. And these are the main tools for investors to manage their company.
Okay, that's
And
clear.
I should mention also the accounting, that in Estonia, our accountants, they don't ask from you the accounting documents, sent by a mail with the post office. Our software programs are done in a way you just upload, and our accountant already sees them, and no other papers needed.
Okay, that's crystal clear. And as we do that by digital banking, it's very easy to register and to treat. Okay. What are the risks associated with investing in Estonia? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes. In case you invest in another company, not through your own company, then you always risk with what will they do with your investment. So you have to keep your contracts very clear, your demands, your expectations, and then see whether they follow the contract and what they have promised. That is the main advice, to have very detailed agreements. Then the second thing, as Estonia is an e-country, almost everything is done electronically. Then it has an advantage over the other EU countries in regards to mostly having everything on the internet. So if you Google a name, a company, and they have had something bad in the past, you will probably find it on the internet. So this is maybe a benefit of investing in Estonia. You will find information online.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, it's fine. You can ask.
I heard that we cannot invest in a house, for example, online. Is it true, or?
Do you mean having your own company and buying a real estate on your company name?
Yeah.
No, it's possible. You can do
Okay.
that. and rent it out.
Okay.
Yes,
Perfect.
it's possible.
Okay, it's all clear. You share us some I don't know, testimonial case studies you have which investor who have succeeded in Estonia?
One of the clients was very successful with investing in real estate and then renting the real estate with a very high margin and profit. And the other success stories, they stay the same. I would say the crypto exchange platforms, which were founded in 2018 and 19 and are still going very successfully.
And what about investment in private equity, like investing in I think like there is a lot of startups in Estonia because there is a big tech culture and they are like kind of we're very well famous. Can you talk about that, please?
Yes, investing in startups, it is the case if you don't want to invest through your company. So that if you want to see something, how to say, with a potential success story, then our startups have become quite successful in the history of the whole world. For example, Estonia has 10 unicorns.
Yeah.
And I believe we will have a few more soon. So in that sense, our startup market is also quite safe. So if you just get an advice from advising lawyers, then 1 or 2 hours, you will have quite a clear picture. Adding to that also Googling and searching in the internet, the startup information, then you're quite on the safe side.
Okay, interesting. What are the common pitfall you have on investment structure process?
It's the same as was for regular companies, that you don't pay attention to your Estonian company. And then you start receiving problems and fines, which becomes court letters. Out of like one unsubmitted document, you can receive a huge court letter, which you can prevent by just taking care of your company at the right time.
Okay. Okay, very much. Yeah.
I can add one more comment also. Some clients from abroad have taken local Estonian managers to manage their company and board members. And you should remember that a board member, when you don't limit their rights, they have the right to do anything with your company, anything they want. So in that sense, you should also have your contracts in very detail, describing what they have a right to do or not to do. Because we have seen where board members, they do actions and transactions not being advised by the owners, for example, from France. And then the owner from France sees something is happening with the company and is in shock. So to avoid that, you have to take some steps.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about locations, if you are okay. Can the asset be located in France, Italy, Portugal? And is there some tax here on that?
Asset can be located anywhere the client wants. There is no limitation on that. But if we're talking about real estate, then the taxation is based on that country where real estate is based. So if you want Estonian taxes to apply, real estate should be based in Estonia.
Okay, very, very interesting. So it is the same thing like investing in collectibles, could be in wine, could be in painting, could be in vintage car, could be in artwork. You told me like there is specific registrations to have.
With artwork and collectibles, there is no very, very strict regulations. And any profit you made out of it, also it's not taxed. And it can be located also wherever you want. But if the tax office sends an inquiry, you should be able to show that you have this collectibles.
Okay, so you cannot set up a company saying like I'm investing in collectibles, private equity, stock market, crypto, and real estate, for example, to have a wide range of assets to invest in.
Yes, you can. So
Okay.
you can have one man company doing everything. You just register one main activity code, but you can have 100 activities if you want.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. So we arrive at the end. So let's define a deal together. The I will, of course, share this video with our club, with the people arriving in your club, outside the club coming. So if they want to work with you, there is two different offers. I think like we talk about company setup and e-residency. Can we talk about a little bit these two offers?
Yes. So with e-residency, as everything is online, then also our expenses are less. So we are able to make a better offer. It's 665 euros, which
Yes.
includes the state fee, which includes first year address and mail forwarding fee, and establishment assistance also. So basically your first year is covered with that, excluding accounting. And
Okay.
if we're talking about the regular establishment, if you don't have e-residency card, then it's 1,100 euros, the basic package. And then you have to visit the notary in France and send us the original, and we take care of everything. And this fee also covers state fee, all our Estonian notary fees, and first year address. So for first year also you're covered.
Okay, first year address too. Okay, very interesting. Okay, and of course, we will set up a channel to communicate with you for our members, the members of the club, and for all the people who have questions. We will set up a channel to communicate. It will be probably a channel. We will set up it together, and I will publish it at the end of these videos in the text, if you're okay, and in the different mails we'll send to our members with these short videos to explain how it works, financial hacking in Estonia. Thank you very much for your time. It has been a pleasure to do this webinar with you. It was super clear, very transparent, super efficient. Thank you. If you have something to say for the end, I'll let you do that.
Thank you very much, first of all, for inviting me to participate. And the questions were very professionally formed. And if anyone has any additional questions, I will be happy to answer.
Yes, there is some question, but they are more about or 5 minutes late on webinars and from the content. So what I will do is I will gather all the question I can collect it, and I will share it in an email. And maybe we will do a short video of 10 minutes answering all these questions and share it to everybody. Like this, everybody will have these questions. And it will be available in the club. Thank you very much, Christine. Have a nice day. And please be safe, because I know that you are not in Estonia for the moment, but be safe.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone, for listening and participating.
Hey, bye. See you soon.
Bye.